It was great to see you, at the Hall of Fame with Paul Pierce. What was that like for you, Ray?
The Hall of Fame is like a high school reunion now for us. I remember like one of the first events I was going to, and I was telling my kids a story about one of the first games I went to in L.A. against the Pistons back in '88, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was on the floor shooting. And then we're at this dinner, Hall of Fame dinner, and he walks in. And, I'm already retired, been, around professional life for so long, and he walks in the room, and you're thinking, I'm trying to get my son's attention, like Kareem just walked in. Look, it's Kareem. And so it never gets old when you go to Hall of Fame induction weekend and you see a lot of guys you played with and against. You get to talk about games. And at the end of the day, it's fascinating to be able to share space with these guys because, you just played a game for a living. But what matters more is the time you spent. Your families got to know each other, seeing kids grown up. It's just a special experience that, you cherish, and you get that once every weekend in the summer. And, it's every year it's going to be somebody new, and, it's forever now.
What's it mean, though, to be there and a teammate goes in, though? A guy that you won a championship. You hoisted the Larry O.B. with in Paul Pierce.
It's I think it's somewhat humbling because a guy you played with goes in and you realize, you say to yourself, like, oh, so we were really good. We were really that good.
Yes.
Because you don't think about being in the Hall of Fame when you're playing, but afterwards, when you start to sum it up, you're like, and on that team was 3 or 4 Hall of Famers. You're like, yeah, we should have won the championship. How many should we have won? Because, history, after it tells its story, it will come back and tell the story of how great of careers that you and your teammates had, that ultimately, it sets you apart from everybody else. And, I would have loved to win more while I played, but at the end of the day, we won once. I won once in Miami, and that was enough to just kind of, for me, put the icing on the cake of my career.
Yeah, Ray Allen here on the Rich Eisen Show. I was referring to Paul Pierce. Could have easily been referring to Chris Bosh as well, going in that class. And, it's kind of front and center as well right now, Ray, with Tom Brady returning to New England this weekend and how he left and, whether there's hard feelings and when everybody can come together. Where does that all stand with you? Obviously you and Pierce are cool. Where does that all stand with you and the rest of the Celtics team?
Well, I've said, from the moment I left, like it was a great opportunity for me as my career was winding down. When you go through free agency, you have to figure out the best spot landing going forward. And, there was only, for me at that time, it was only so many possibilities. And so as we move forward, it was, you just assume that everybody wishes you well and people hate to see you go. I've been traded, before, and you just know it's a business. It always is. And teams that trade you are always going to trade you because they think that, bringing somebody else in for you, a couple people or just one, is better for their team going forward. And so you always know it's a business. And at that point, for us, you think the same way. Like, we got to figure out the best way we can to, have a soft landing spot where we have put ourselves in a situation to win. So I've never had any bad blood. I do get that sentiment from some of my past teammates and from, people in Boston. But I think that is spurned by, certain players still, having animosity. And I made connection to, like the Pistons when they won in 2004. They forever chop it up with each other and they keep it going. That's whenever you win, that's what it should be all about. And for me, at some point, it's got to get to that we've won together and we've grown together, we've lost together. And, winning the championship always keeps you connected, it keeps you bonded. And that should be what we should be talking about.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.